Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome back to Anime King 2, and I'm back with part 2 of What If Naruto Was Kaguya's brother. Remember to get this one too. 100 like as usual. Share this to all of your friends on your social media platform. And also, guys, don't forget to go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto returned from his training trip hating Konoha, and enjoy that, guys. And if you're new, yes, I indeed have 4 more channels which I post what if on every single day for you guys to enjoy. Anime King 3, Anime Symbol, Anime Prince. So go ahead, check it out, and enjoy each and every one of them. So without further ado or wasting any more time, how about we jump right into this brand new episode? Let us begin now, guys. So, to do a bit of a recap for the last part that we left off, we started with Naruto, Ōtsutsuki. He was running away from his clan as he fled his home after slaughtering 2 of his own people. As he arrived towards the location where she was, her trail was faint, but this was indeed it. You see, Naruto Ōtsutsuki was a very special person. Well, as of late. Before, on the other hand, he was nothing special. Him and his sister Kaguya Ōtsutsuki were the sacrifices of the clan. They were born on the lower edge of the Ōtsutsuki spectrum. They were seen as weaklings. They were partnered with someone else. It will always be their life that will be sacrificed to cultivate the god tree. They would be fed to the beasts. They would be the chosen sacrifice. And their life was set in that way. That was until his sister broke parameters and became a traitor. But not only that, she abandoned him. Naruto was hateful towards her for the longest time. His hate never subsided, but he was pushed too far, and he had enough. Thus he retaliated, and he ended up slaughtering his own people. They underestimate him, and he slaughtered them for that. In doing so, he had to run away. He had consumed their power, but still, the numbers were against him, so he fled. Awakened a new ability to trail his sister through their connection from their blood. He trailed her to the elemental nation. Unlike most other arrogant Ōtsutsuki, Naruto was rather calm, understanding. Maybe it was because he was treated like a lesser being his entire life. Dealing with lesser life forms was not something that he could not do, unlike others who simply wished to snuff out lesser life forms. And that was rather clear as he found his sister. Naruto was angry. Perhaps she was trying to sway his thoughts. Perhaps she was trying to get him to free her. As she questioned how he was here, realizing that he was not here with the others to bring her back, but he did something stupid. Naruto desired to know why, and how could she abandon everything like that? Abandon him for what? As he was able to view her memories. And he wanted to know. Love, this connection that she felt so deeply. To think that her own children became her downfall. It was baffling, gravely so. However, for her punishment for leaving him be, she would rot inside the seal as he proceeded to leave. She called his name, but Naruto was already gone. Venturing out, Naruto decided to searched the land. Just coming from the essence of the first Great Shinobi War, a few tried to attack him. They were foolish though. He might not be the strongest in terms of the other top-class Ōtsutskis, but to them he was a beast. He crushed them. The closest source of life that he found was the Uzumakis, their vitality intriguing him. He saw the seals and the ruins. As the Ōtsutskis had a higher level of seals known as ruins that were engraved and powerful. They had many powerful artifacts and things like that after all. Naruto desired to know. He met the daughter of the clan head. Her name was Kimiko. As they talked, it shows that she did not trust him. They had a rather long conversation, where Naruto never truly explained where he was from, but his desire was to learn. Yes, his desire was to learn. He was brought to the clan head there, who decided to allow him to learn, but under constant surveillance. The reason being Naruto's power was so great, they knew that he could force his way in. However, they too, most of the leader was intrigued. What exactly was he? During his time there, it shows that they did not trust him, but Naruto showed nothing that he would ever turn against them, as he was straightforward with most things except for who he truly was. As the time passed by though, due to the Uzumaki's interference aiding Konoha, the other nations were going to eradicate them. Thus their power would not be there to help Konoha in the other war that was going to start very soon, because the moment they destroyed the Uzumakis, they knew Konoha would retaliate. Thus they joined together. It was Kiri, the Stone, and Kumo. All of them, Oniki, the Raikage, all of them joined together and brought their forces. The attack was swift and sudden. As the Uzumakis tried to retaliate, Naruto finally stepped up, telling them that his help was needed in this. Tailed beasts were there. Thousands of shinobis, he could not take them on himself. Unfortunately for the enemy though, and luck for the Uzumakis, it was the first time that Naruto decided that he would actually fight since coming here, as he let his power loose, and it was the first time they truly felt the monster that was truly Naruto Ōtsutsuki. So yeah guys, basically left off, you guys can switch across and play check it out for yourselves to see in this new episode. Moments. In just a few short moments, the battlefield had become a graveyard, as Naruto stood amongst the carnage, breathing heavily, not because he was tired. He was exhilarated. He was overwhelmed. When he absorbed his two brethren, he had fled after, escaping carnage around him because the others desired his death. But it was the first time he was truly understanding just what he's become. The power that flowed through him felt intoxicated, far beyond what he imagined. He hadn't expected this. He hadn't realized just how much devouring those two had changed him. "I'm stronger," he said. "So much stronger than I ever was." Its chakra was a metallic silver color. What are you?" The screams of fear and shout came from the stone shinobis, as there were still a couple left standing there. The man's face became pale with absolute fear, as Naruto cut through their forces like they were nothing. They were humans. He lay waste to them. They collapsed, broken, dead. Naruto did not answer. He knew why they were here. He rose to the heavens. They gazed up, covering their eyes as the sun bathed down upon them with its brilliant light. As Naruto reached, saturating the air with pure chakra, molding and twisting it. Pure lightning, natural, enhanced to deadly degrees. Naruto brought it down upon them. It came down like a bolt. Speed intense, terrifying. It struck with unnatural force, raining down as tragedy. It was like a meteor, boom, devastation, electrocution. The wrath of a judgmental god descending upon them as shinobis scream. Impossible, Oniki said, gazing up toward this monstrosity. What has the Uzumakis created? As he stood from his vantage point, he was having a hard time believing it, but that was not ninjutsu. It's a monster, the third Mizukage said. We underestimated the Uzumakis. If they have a weapon like this, that is no Uzumaki, the Raikage said, lightning crackling around him. As he responded to the power that he was feeling, I don't know what that is, the Raikage said. It was like a tail beast in human form, releasing such unending wrath and power. When Naruto dropped back down, they tried to use numbers against him. However, he thrust both of his hands out. Space seemed to tear, and from those tears emerged black, circular space in mid-air. It was a perfect void that spun, and it started to pull with a gravitational force. Fall back, one of them shouted. Don't let those things touch. It was too late. The shinobi was cut off. It spawned from the unique complexity of what Naruto was. The genetical vortex. It started to pull dozens of shinobis. It started to pull them in. Bones breaking, necks snapping. Bodies were crushed inside as they made contact with the black spear. They were pulled and crushed. Naruto himself was surprised. I didn't know I could do that. Naruto before was much weaker than this. To a standard human or shinobi, Kage level, high class shinobi, experience would always be on his side. He's old. Even without his brethren that he absorbed, the battle would still be gravely on his side. But perhaps their numbers might have overwhelmed him if they came together at once. However, he was discovering his new powers at the same time. Swallowing those two Ōtsutsuki, absorbing who they are, who they would ever be. They became a part of him. They enhance, they awaken the power that was inside of him. After all, Ōtsutsuki were fed, and him and Kaguya were source and sacrifice. However, it seems like Naruto for a moment had become the 10 tails, as he had devoured his own. But it didn't cultivate any fruit. It magnified his original strength and truly evolved him, awakened powers that he never knew even existed. He could feel it as he fight. Having shut himself off since he came here, it was all flushing out right now. It also piggybacked to his connection with his sister, of being able to sense her from the far cross of the universe. All forces, retreat to second position, Oniki voice shouted out, his chakra amplifying his voice. Deploy the tail beasts immediately. The ground shook as they came. The massive power marching towards Naruto. Shinobis could not best him, so they would take him down raw. Natural force just like himself. 4 mass of chakra signatures, each one of them giving form. Naruto knew that this was fragments of the 10 tails. Kaguya children, his nephews, they were the ones, mostly the one that they call the Sage of Six Paths. He was the one that created them. The first one to move in was the 4th tail, Son Goku, a massive ape. It seemed to be cultivating with molten rock, lava. The next was a massive 5-tailed horse with a dolphin face. as steam came from it like a furnace. The next was the 8 tails, a massive monstrosity. It was like a bull and a squid at the same time. And then we had the 6th tail, Psychon, as it was like a slug, oozing liquid that could melt the very ground itself. They all came from different areas, west, north, east, south. They move, their position not surrounding the island of Ōtsutsuki but moving to go beyond Naruto's sight, the living weapons of mass destruction. However, Naruto was having fun. It was the first time he felt this powerful, that tingle in his chest. Finally, he said, a worthy opponent. The 4 tails struck first. Lava balls streamed through the air. Naruto raised his hand as space bent. The lava balls were curved by spatial gravitational manipulation as it crushed down into several shinobis that tried to flee from the chaos. The 8 tails did not hesitate, its tentacles lashing out with enough force to level mountains. Naruto flew through them and, dodging and twisting as he moved into the sky, his body defying gravity as easy as breathing. As the tentacles missed, Naruto created another black vortex spear, this one larger, much more powerful. He hurled it towards the 8 tails. Jaiki barely dodged. One of the tentacles were caught up and pulled. The limb was stretched, compressed, and simply vanished into the black spear. The 8 tails roared in agony and pain. The Jinchuriki within inside could also see and feel the fraction of pain as well. What the hell is that thing? I don't know. The 8 tail rage. But that is not normal chakra. That is something else entirely. The 5 tail released a massive steam cloud, obscuring the battlefield. Normal shinobis would have been cooked alive, but Naruto simply waved his hand, parting the steam as it was pulled apart by spatial manipulation. Enough playing, he said. Naruto began to glow. It was the amount of chakra that was pulsating. The 3 Kages watched as the silver-white light was pulsating out of his body. The power radiating out of him was climbing and climbing and climbing. It started to make the tail beast's power seem small in comparison. He's transforming, the 3rd Mizukage said, his voice barely above a whisper. Into what? Oniki questioned. They got their answer. The transformation took hold in the sky, a burst of energy spreading all over. His skin took on a pale quality, almost luminescent and glowing. His hair started to now glow with silver highlights as it returned back to normal. As for his horns, they had fused together, curving around, forming like a structure on the top of his head, almost like a crown. His entire body pulsating with power. They were elegant yet terrible, beautiful yet menacing. It was the mark of a Ōtsutsuki who had evolved beyond their base form. And his eyes, they also changed as well. 2 Renni Sharingan manifestate. But these were not your standard crimson Renni Sharingan. They were violet, the color of deep space. The Renni Sharingan were surrounded by ripple pattern with 9 tomos all converging into a point. It seemed like a circular black hole in the center of his eyes, as light seemed to distort all around them. These were the Juju no Mi, known as the eyes of dimensional void. Eyes that could manipulate gravity, bend space, and touch the fundamental forces that held reality together. When Naruto opened his eyes, it was to a different world, the way he viewed it. So this is what I've truly become. Devouring the chakra fruit could elevate any Ōtsutsuki. However, that is not what Naruto did. He devoured his kin, those two powerful Ōtsutskis that he ambushed and caught off guard. They evolved him. As he had bypassed the traditional Ōtsutsuki evolution, instead he did not consume the chakra fruit. He consumed his people like they were the fruit. And that act had triggered the next step in their species evolution. The higher-ups, all of them possess a transformation. Even amongst his clan, transformations were rare. It was only reserved for the high quality. Those are the strongest, the most ruthless, the most powerful. He was no longer just an Ōtsutsuki, no longer a sacrifice. He was something more. The power coursing through him was absolute. He could literally draw the chakra from their techniques with ease. But it seems that the transformation magnified that by 100 folds, robbing shinobis of their life force and their techniques, amplifying his own strength. Naruto looked down upon them, his arms folded, as they looked so small. He extended his arms to the sky. "Show me what you have to offer," he said. "Show me your might." And thus the tailed beasts rained destruction upon him. This battle would be whispered throughout the world for generations to come. The four tails launched a spear of condensed chakra. It blasted through the sky. However, Naruto caught it. Yes, he caught it with one hand, holding the spear of energy where it was. The gravitational spear around his hand started to compress, stopping the triggered explosive. It started to shrink and shrink it and shrink it until it squashed it out of reality. The five-tailed charge, trying to use its speed and dexterity. It jumped, trying to hit Naruto with its head to knock him out of the sky. However, Naruto thrust his hand down. The force around it seemed to quadruple, and again the ground cracked. Naruto then yanked it. The beast was pulled from the earth. Naruto stopped as he landed on top of the thing. As he placed his hand down on its head, chakra absorption. The five-tailed thrashed around, trying to get Naruto away. The beast's roar was like nothing any of them had ever heard. It screamed and tried to escape. It tried to break free. "No!" Oniki shouted. "Someone stop him!" He was absorbing the tail beast's chakra. There's no telling how much more powerful he could be. The right Kage exploded with lightning, full power as he charged. His most powerful technique, the Hell Stab, as he pointed his finger out, aimed directly towards Naruto's head. However, Naruto did not even look at him. His free hand moved and the space twisted. The Raikage hand hit what seemed to be a wall of compressed gravity. His finger that was strong enough to pierce through almost anything could not even penetrate an inch. "Impossible," he said. "You're strong for a human," said Naruto. And then he pushed. The Raikage was blasted through the sky at impossible speed, crashing through three hills, tearing through them. When he finally came to a stop, his lightning armor distling and twitching. His legendary durability did not hold up. His hand was twisted at a strange angle, his finger mutilated. The five-tail was getting weaker and weaker, the chakra depleting. Naruto threw the thing away like it was garbage. It crashed into the ground, unable to move. "One down," he said. The sixth tail tried to sneak attack Naruto. As acid was sprayed, Naruto held his hand up. Everyone thought it was over as he was consumed by the acid. He held his hand out as he was in the center of it all, completely unfazed, the gravity keeping it away. He decided to return it. Almighty. Push! All the acid was blasted away, striking the six tails and those who were stupid enough to be nearby. The sixth tail was blasted away by the force, the gravity force being so strong it launched the beast like nothing has ever thrown it before. When it finally came to a stop, half of its body was missing. However, it was slowly putting itself back together. The four tails, watching as its companions fall, it made a desperate move. A final tail beast bomb as it started to pour everything inside of it, adding its own lava as well. Naruto flew straight towards the tail beast. Naruto's fingers pushed past the tail beast bomb as it opened, as he forced it open with a gravitational force. He then touched the four tails on the chest. He then proceeded to pull, not just chakra this time, however, everything. Naruto did not stop as the beast howled out. It tried to stop him, but its form started to destabilize. Naruto did not stop as a raw chakra flew into his transformed body. In a matter of seconds, it ceased to exist. And just like that, century of knowledge, century of information from the beast was gone. The Jinchuriki fell, crashing down to the ground, lifeless. The four tails was no more. It was dead. Their living weapon, a tail beast, dead. Oniki watched on in shock. Only the 8 tails remained truly functional. They were left there stunned, unable to believe what they just witnessed. "Come to me," said Naruto. The 8 tails was launched off its feet, the gravity force pulling it forward. However, Naruto struck it in the chest. Immediately, its power seemed to start to rupture its form. Slowly but surely the power was forced back into the Jinchuriki. Naruto gripped him by the throat, gazing into his eyes, and the 8 tails as well. "You're powerful," he said. "I'll let you live." His eyes spun as he looked into it. "But remember this moment. Remember what true power looked like. This land is under my protection," Naruto said. He tossed him as he crashed into the boat, his body tired and weakened. Naruto slowly descended down towards the ground. Naruto turned his gaze towards the remaining shinobis. The third Mizukage tried to escape, tried to cover his tracks as he launched a powerful water technique that spammed over an entire section. It was to draw Naruto's attention. However, he was stunned as Naruto stood in front of him. "You came to destroy everything these people build. You bring destruction to innocent shores, plagues and death." Wait, the Mizukage said, trying to find the words to say something. But Naruto did not let him as he placed a hand on his chest. The chakra glowed as Naruto pushed him, and at the same time he pulled him. His body was torn inside out. Such a violent force yanking him. You could hear the bones shattering and breaking. He struggled to remain his shape until his body finally gave way. His heart pulled, his lungs, kidney, all of his organs, his liver, they were torn out inside. Oniki watched in shock. The Mizukage felt like he was a piece of paper. "Retreat! All forces retreat now!" Oniki said as he was already on a rock formation, moving away using it as an extra layer of defense. He moved through the sky, several of his important people on that formation as well, as they proceeded to flee. Those on the ground carrying away the injured, running for their life, fear coursing through them as Naruto stood there. He waited until the last shinobi ran away, corpses littering the entire place. Descending back down towards Uzu, his transformation fading, Naruto's normal appearance switched back. He rather come to light the appearance that he chose when he first came here, so his hair changed once again and his eyes once again. The people were silent, still frozen, sensors frozen. Kagami stepped forward, his face pale. What are you?" he said. Naruto met his gaze. "Not what you thought. Not what anyone thought," Naruto said. You saved us," Kimiko said, stepping towards him. "Whatever you are, you saved us all. The coalition force is broken. The Mizukage is dead. The Raikage is injured. Oniki fled. The fourth tail beast destroyed. The 5 and 6 critically injured. The 8 tails, I let it go. They won't be coming back. Not after this. You killed a tail beast," one of the elders said. "That's supposed to be impossible." Naruto said nothing as he took a breath. This was the first time he was transforming like that. He had to say it took a lot more out of him than he expected. Kagami looked towards him. "We need to talk. Privately. You owe us that much," he said. "I know," said Naruto. 3 days later, word spread like wildfire across the elemental nation. The second Hokage had died in the first war, and the third had been given the position. He was still a bit new to the position, but he was coping rather well. However, as he read the report over and over and over again, it was a shock to him. "This can't be accurate," he said. Beside him, Danzo Shimura, Visible Eye, was watching the report as well. 3 separate intelligent reports and network have confirmed it, Hiruzen. A coalition attack was set on Uzu, and it is said that one single individual, and Uzumaki supposedly, though. What though? Hiruzen questioned. The description does not match any known Uzumaki abilities. Flying, gravitation manipulation, able to completely kill a tail beast, single-handedly wiping out 1,000, killing a Kage. This isn't normal. There is something else entirely at play here. The Uzumakis have secrets. I'm not surprised by that. But this particular one though, for it to be so powerful, who or whatever it is, it saved one of our allies. We owe whatever it is our gratitude. Perhaps though, it's a source of their own making. After all, the Uzumakis were well known for their sealing arts. Whatever this was, Hiruzen was sure that they were behind it. As for the others, in the past 3 days they've been going through a lot. Oniki had stood before his council, closed the borders, every checkpoint, every entry point. No one enter without authorization, permission from me. Lord Tishikage, the economy, I don't care, Oniki said. Oniki himself had watched that monstrosity lay waste. And if they can close off their borders to buy themselves some time, in case of a retaliation, they will take the time. He was having none of it. It was same for the Raikage. It wasn't often that he sat in the medical bay, but his right arm was mangled and broken badly. It wasn't that the bones were just broken, they seemed to be squashed, as they were trying their best to save it. He was known for his durability, known for his strength, but this was beyond. They would close off their borders, for now, lock down everything, keep the 8 tails on reserve just in case. At the miss, the Mizukage was dead and they were scrambling. Fearing a retaliation, they had to be prepared just in case. However, as the 3 days went by, they received none. But that simply put them on edge even more. Time skip. It was nighttime as Naruto sat, gazing towards the moon. Can't sleep. Kimiko sat down beside him. I don't sleep that much, Naruto said. She gazed towards him. You've been here for some time now. At first you just wanted to learn. But you put that aside and stepped up and saved everyone. Without you, there was a chance that we all would have fallen due to us being so unprepared. She said, looking towards him. My father wants to make sure that you're welcome. That you're not just seen as an outsider. That you can be seen as an Uzumaki. But I'm not an Uzumaki though, said Naruto. No, you're not. And I think we both know that, she said. Tell me the truth. All of it. What really are you, she said. Naruto looked at her for a long moment. I'm not from this world. I'm from somewhere else. Somewhere you can never reach, even if you try. A place beyond the stars. A cold, merciless environment that is only for the strong, where the weak are used as cattle. They're used as support, as slaves, said Naruto. She remained quiet and listened. My race is called the Ōtsutsuki. We are called many things by many others. Gods, demons, merciless tyrants, wicked beings, harbinger of deaths. We've done horrible things. I'm not excluding myself because I was a part of it all. We harvest worlds like this one, cultivating their energy and use it to grow stronger. Among my people I was nothing, weak, worthless, marked for sacrifice. But you're not weak, she said. Not anymore, said Naruto. On my escape, I killed two of my own and absorbed their power. And I ran, knowing that I could never go back because my actions would sentence me to death, perhaps even worse. She looked fearful. But can't they find you here? The elemental nation is fortunate, said Naruto. You are extremely far from the main pathways, hidden in the backwater section of reality. My people likely don't even know this world exists. As long as I remain here, I am safe, he said. As safe as a wanted murderer can be anyway, he said as he smiled bitterly. She suspected this from day one, when the seals indicated something inhuman. But hearing it felt so unreal, so unbelievable. So your sister, the one trapped in the seal, she's like you, Ōtsutsuki. She was. She came here and fell in love. She tried to take this world instead of harvest it. For that, her children sealed her away, Naruto said, his voice hollow. I came here thinking that I would understand why she betrayed me when I saw her. But things just became more complicated. She chose love, emotions over logic, something that we're not known for. What about you, she said. You could have left. Instead, you stayed and you protect our people. You protected me, she said, looking towards him. Isn't that choosing something you care about? Perhaps even love over logic as well. I suppose you're right. For the first time, I did not just fight to survive, not for power, for someone else. That is not something I'm known for. People you care about. That is what pushed people to get stronger. That is what pushed people to fight. That is what pushed people to evolve, she said. I think that is what happened to your sister. Naruto sat there, simply gazing towards the moon. No words were said as he simply watched it. Thank you, he suddenly said. For what? For not running after learning the truth. To be honest, This is not the first time I've told someone who I am. It isn't? No. I believe it's because I was never treated like them. Don't get me wrong, I'm arrogant because my power is great. But I see other worlds as, well, it's hard to explain. I've met others before. When I told them who I am and what their world is destined for. Perhaps it was my own way of trying to find something else. They call me a monster. So I want to thank you. That's what friends are for, she said. Friends? Yes. Friends, Naruto said. He never had a friend before. It was like he was discovering a whole new reality. Discovering about himself his new power now. Understanding what friendship means and maybe even love. While that was going on, she was supposed to be trapped in an endless sleep. But maybe it was their connection, them being tied together more than just their clan. Kaguya felt it. She could barely think, but her mind understood what was going on. She felt his evolution. She questioned what has he become. She could not see the battle or understand it, but she could feel his presence. And somehow that kept her conscious. That kept her aware of him alone though. However, she just had to wait. She had her spawn out there in the world, cultivating her escape. However though, things are going to be a lot more complicated with Naruto being here. As she thought to herself. Time skip. At Konoha. It was a council chamber. The reports are consistent across all our intelligence network. The Envoy operative reported in as he knelt before the third Hokage. Military activities across all major nations have come to a near stop, he said. The stone has shut down their borders. Kumo is up only in defenses within their own land. The mist is too concerned with internal politics to pose a threat. The sand remained neutral. Hiruzen took a long draw from his pipe, considering the information carefully. Around the council table was Danzo, Homura and Koharu as they all processed the information. People are calling it the last great ninja war, Homura said. Some already claiming that the first would be the final. That peace has truly come. It's all foolish optimism, said Danzo. Nations don't simply stop fighting because he was cut off. Because they witnessed something that terrified them to their core, Hiruzen said. The coalition attack on Usu wasn't just repelled, it was annihilated. 3 Kages, 4 tailed beasts. 1 Kage dead, 1 injured, 1 fled. A tailed beast destroyed. Countless shinobis died. The room was silent. To think, all of this was done by one person. That is what we got from the report, Koharu said. That is why Hiruzen said, I'm going to take a trip to Uzu personally. We need to assess the situation to ensure our alliance remains strong. He gave Danzo a look immediately, and before you suggest no, this is not about recruiting or manipulating. The Uzumakis are our allies, and they just survived an unprovoked assault by 3 nations. Danzo did not say anything though. I'll be leaving tomorrow, Hiruzen said. A small escort only. It's a diplomacy show, not a show of force. Time skip. It's now been 5 days after the great battle. Majority of the fighting was done outside their walls, other than retweaking a few of the other seals that were set up to protect them. The Uzumakis were coming along rather well. However, the shores had to be clean and the bodies had to be removed. This is where Naruto came in rather handy. Using his gravity manipulation, it was splendid. You're going to exhaust yourself, Kimiko said, watching as Naruto float a massive stone pillar from one side to another. He looked down towards her. "Don't worry about me," he said. "I don't get exhausted quickly." Kimiko leaned as she watched. In the past few days, she's felt more and more comfortable around Naruto. Her thoughts were interrupted though. "Kimiko," a voice called out, as three figures approached. It was Akane, Hiroshi, and Yuki, her closest friends. "Still working," Akane said with a grin. "Some of us are actually taking breaks, you know. There is a festival tonight to celebrate our survival." "A festival?" said Naruto, looking down confused. "Oh, it's a celebration. Food, music, dancing. A way to honor our survival. And the one that helped us through it as well," she said, with a smile. "You should definitely come," Hiroshi said. "Well, both of you. Together." As his eyes gazed over towards Kimiko, Kimiko immediately understood where he was trying to go with that, her cheeks flushing slightly. "Hiroshi, don't." "What?" he said. "I didn't say anything, I was just saying that you two should come together." "Well, he is right. You've been spending a lot of time together lately. Training together, eating together, watching the sunrise together. We're friends," Kimiko said. Friends, yeah," all three of them said. Naruto looked down towards them, genuinely curious. "Why? Are you three implying something else?" he questioned. He was direct and straightforward with his question, as all of them paused. Her friends burst out laughing as Kimiko hid her face. "He's so precious," Akane said. "Kimiko, you have to keep him. He's not mine to keep." Naruto ignored them, "They're just idiots." "I don't understand the joke," Naruto said, as Hiroshi turned towards him. "Let's just say when two people spend this much time together, like you and Kimiko have been doing, some people start to wonder if there is something more than friendship developing." "Ah, I see. You mean romantic interest," said Naruto. The way he said it so casually made them laugh even harder. "Yes, Naruto, romantic interest," said Yuki. He looked at Kimiko, his expression unreadable as she chased them off. They ran away laughing, teasing her. He watched her as she chased them off, his expression really unreadable as he said nothing. Time skip. "It always amazed me to see just how excellent your chakra control is," said Kimiko. Another night of practicing Fuinjutsu mostly, as Naruto found himself gazing towards the heavens, watching the moon. "It was beautiful tonight. My sister is sealed in there," Naruto said. Kimiko blinked. Naruto never said that she was sealed in the moon. However, she learned to accept things like they are. After all, everything seems impossible these days. Do you still hate her for abandoning you?" "It's strange," said Naruto. "The more time I spend here, the more time I start to understand, but if she really did develop emotions, feelings beyond the coldness of our clan, why were those feelings never turned towards me? To seek me out, to grant me freedom as well. Perhaps doing so would have put her at risk. Then again, she left me to suffer," said Naruto. "Thus, it's complicated. And now here I am, doing something similar in my own way," said Naruto. "And I found myself a home, and people that I care about more deeply than I ever thought would be possible." Kimiko's cheeks turned red, hearing Naruto's statement. "And you are one of them," he said as he turned directly towards her, as he took her hand. "I care for you more than I thought that I would care for anyone else." He said it so casually, so normally, and yet her heart felt like it skipped a beat. I care for you as well," she said to him. She was about to say something, but he turned away. What's wrong?" Not sure, said Naruto. Is Byakugan activated? Something is watching us. Meanwhile, in the shadows, Zetsu was confused. His form having merged into the earth, concealed and protected. He couldn't be found. Well, that is what he thought. For days, he was investigating this anomaly. The surge of power that felt sickeningly familiar. Like his mother chakra but different. Twisted wrong somehow. He tracked it to Uzu. He had watched the great battle unfold. He had been caught off guard. Another Ōtsutsuki. Here. Now. He feared the implications of that. Yet, as the word started to spread, as he started to understand more, things became complicated. His plan. He was watching the old dying Uchiha, Madara Uchiha, as he would be useful to his plans. He's already manipulated a lot, changed a lot. Soon he will make Madara believe that he is his will, the one to continue on in his stead. His plan was perfect, but here was another Ōtsutsuki, not coming for his mother but fighting for the Uzumakis. Why? What was found you? Zetsu was caught off guard. The words found you shocked him as he was dragged out of the earth and held into the air, his form trying to destabilize and melt into the ground, but a force pulled him back together. Naruto looked him over. What are you? Naruto eyes going over him. You reek of Ōtsutsuki. Yet, you are not. Naruto said, looking over him, as he realized that it was a creation of their kind, but not just any creation. Naruto's eyes studied every fraction of Zetsu. Zetsu had his questions though. I could ask you the same thing. You are a Ōtsutsuki, yet you protect humans. Wouldn't that make you a traitor of your own kind, Zetsu said. My kind has marked me for death. They are nothing to me, and I should be nothing to them. I can see what you are now. My sister created you, didn't she? Made from her will her chakra, but not all of her memories, otherwise you would have known who I am. You're trying to free her, said Naruto. Zetsu was shocked. Tell me, creature, how long have you been working on this plan to free her? Centuries, Zetsu said. See no point in lying, believing that this person would aid him. Since her son sealed her away, I've been laying plans, manipulating events to free my mother. And you will help me. Help you? Of course not. What? Zetsu said, confused. Naruto dropped him to the ground. My sister made her choice. She chose this world over me. I see it as her punishment to keep her locked away. But she's your sister. She's your blood. That didn't mean anything to her when she left me to suffer. So freeing her is not my responsibility and not my job. Besides, maybe her children were right. She got corrupted by her own chakra and her fear of the rest of the clan coming. So you will leave her, abandon her, leave her to suffer. She left me to worse. Besides, if she is free, she would try to ruin everything, going back into her old ways, and then I would have to fight her. So then we're enemies, Zetsu said, fearing the implications of that. Yes, but I will not kill you. You are a part of her. Destroying you will be like destroying her. And a part of me don't want to do that. However, if you try to free her, if you try to threaten this world, or do anything with the Uzumakis, I will show you suffering beyond death, Naruto said. Zetsu backed away slowly. This isn't over. I've waited centuries. I can wait longer. You are sneaky. You are good at hiding, but you cannot free her with me around. And moving against me would be the worst mistake that you ever make. Kimiko landed, kunai already drawn, but Naruto stopped her. It's okay. Let it go. Kimiko watches Zetsu retreated into the ground. Zetsu appeared a distance away. A cave where Madara Uchiha was. The man who refused to die as he clung to the tree. This changes everything, Zetsu thought to himself. Meanwhile, on the Ōtsutsuki home world, in a realm beyond normal space, where reality bend and will converge, there was a council, a celestial council. They sat in a circular formation. As they were there discussing many things. However, they weren't alone either. There were some of the top members and even a scout. You had Momoshiki Kinshiki and the scout Yorishiki. And you had others, their names being carried across countless worlds and dimensions. Feared by the remnants of what they've done. The report has been confirmed, one of the elders stated. Naruto and Kaguya, the failed sacrifice. They've both gone rogue now. The elders did not bother themselves with certain trivial matters. Naruto and Kaguya were not even on their spectrum. However, it was what happened when Naruto went rogue that caught their attention. It was Momoshiki that spoke. He killed two of our own. But not just killed. He devoured them. That is the least of our concern. He assimilated them into himself, taking their power, taking their essence, taking who they would ever be for centuries. He didn't just evolve himself through their consumption. He transcended. The place was quiet. Force absorption of an Ōtsutsuki. Another one said, the president was not normal. You might think that it was, given their whole ordeal. After all, sacrificing their life. Kinshiki could sacrifice himself to Momoshiki, but by his will. It is not rare. It is impossible, even for higher class members to absorb those beneath them. Robbing their chakra was one thing, but completely absorbing them, it couldn't happen if they fought back. Due to the genetical code of a Ōtsutsuki, after all, they could literally download themselves into others by imprinting them with a karma mark. So yes, this was very much not normal, not in the slightest. As another spoke, if he has the ability to forcefully absorb Ōtsutsuki, if he can grow stronger from absorbing our kind, the potential to surpass us all, the hunger that will follow from consuming more and more, the threat would be unprecedented. He must be found before any more leisure has taken place, or the precedent for him to absorb other kind of people, other race, to not just drain their power but to absorb them down to their very soul itself. This power is unpredictable, something that we don't understand. With this kind of power, he can stumble upon new abilities, evolution, transformations, which will prove to be a dangerous threat in the future. As we speak, he is our top priority. He must be brought back alive. If not, eradicate every essence of him and make sure nothing remain. But if it can be done, he will be brought back alive. Every single council member seemed to agree, as Yorishiki, who was the head of the scouts while he was here, made his way towards his department so that him and the scouts can get moving. They would find Naruto Ōtsutsuki before he truly know and understand what he is, because he was special. Very, very special. Back on the Elemental Nation, Naruto could feel his sister. As she could feel him, he could feel her as well. He could feel her, well, not feelings, just her existence, knowing that she was there. The more time passed, the more complicated things got. Naruto learned that the Hokage of Konoha was going to pay this place a visit. As Kagami told him that, the Hokage would indeed want to meet him, as this would seem like a random check. The Hokage coming personal to show the respect that he held for the clan. Naruto had no problem meeting this so-called Hokage. But guys, be ends episode right here. If you want to see the next part, you already know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. Remember, share to all of your friends in your social media platform. But I'm out for now, so see you guys soon. Peace.